What's up everybody, my name is Justin. Welcome back to my Pit Lane Garage. Today I'm going to be bringing you another episode of my Garage Talk, where we're going to be talking about the 2018 Camaro ZL1 with the 1LE package. We just celebrated Independence Day here in the States on July 4th a couple days ago, so I thought, why not stick to the America theme and bring you a little bit of classic American muscle. So before we get started, I'm going to share just a quick story about when I was looking for new cars a year or so ago, right before I bought the 2017 Subaru BRZ. I was actually shopping Camaros as well. That's what I wanted to get. Camaro SS with the 1SS package. I was really kind of interested in getting into a V8, something with power, albeit a little bit heavier, not quite as good of handling, but I was interested in making that change. I loved the Camaro that I drove. The engine was great, it sounded great, it got up and moved, and overall I really liked the car. What I didn't like is how big and heavy they are. I just still could not get over that. I love the BRZ, I love Miata's RX-8's small, lightweight, and agile cars. That's just what I'm into. So as we know, I did end up with another 2017 Subaru BRZ. So we'll see, maybe some point in my life I'll own a Camaro or something similar, but for now, I'm sticking with the small, lightweight, agile cars. Yeah, they're not as fast. They don't get up and smoke tires down a drag strip or anything like that, but they're tons of fun to drive. All right, so enough about that. What about the new 2018 Camaro ZL1 1LE? Now this is a new Camaro. The car, from what I am reading, has a similar engine to the existing ZL1. V8 powered, 650 horsepower, I believe 650 foot-pounds of torque as well. So you know this car is gonna get up and move and put the power down, no doubt about that. All right, so what sets this thing apart? I think if you look at the outside of the car, and it looks amazing. I think this thing looks bad to the bone, especially in the white with the black accents. You've got lots of aero pieces going on. This is one of the biggest upgrades that you see on the Camaro ZL1 1LE, and you're seeing that in lots of other manufacturers' cars as well, especially these high-end track-oriented cars. Aero is becoming such a big deal. The manufacturers are learning the benefits of the aero, and in this Camaro, it is no different. So you've got the big front splitter, you've got the dive planes on the side of the bumper to provide additional downforce, side skirts as well on the car, and a humongous carbon fiber wing. You can't have a track-oriented car without a gigantic wing providing downforce. And while not aero specifically, it does have a carbon fiber lightweight hood to save even more weight. So what does all this aero mean? It means an additional 300 pounds or more of downforce when the car is at top speed. That is significant because downforce equals grip, grip equals faster times. All right, what else on the exterior? You also have the 19-inch forged wheels. They have this Eagle F1 super duper car kind of tire on it. Insane levels of dry grip. Special tire, from what I am reading, is specifically built for the Camaro ZL1 with the 1LE package. All right, moving into the good stuff, the suspension, brakes, and chassis. What did they do with the 1LE to improve those track times? So for one, you have new sway bars. What I'm reading is they are smaller than the existing ZL1. However, the rear bar is adjustable. 3-point adjustment, hard, medium, soft. You have your choice. I don't know of how many other cars come like this from the factory with an adjustable sway bar. The spring rates to compensate have been stiffened up a little bit, and you have these fancy new multi-matic spool valve shocks that come with the car. So not a magnetic ride type system, true dampers that are performance oriented for the track, for the spring rates and the sway bars that come with the car. And with this suspension, you also have the capability to adjust the ride height of the car as well as the front camber, which can come in pretty handy because most cars from the factory have zero camber adjustability. This car at least has a little bit. What I'm reading is up to negative 1.5 degrees of camber in the front of the car. So what else in the chassis? I'm also reading that they've gotten rid of rubber subframe mounts in favor of more rigid or solid mounts. I've done similar things on my BRZ here on the rear subframe to stiffen up the chassis feel. Chevrolet did this from the factory on the new Camaro, so that is a plus, improves chassis feedback, power delivery, and the overall feel and balance of the car. Oh, and you also have massive front and rear brakes. Nothing crazy fancy like a carbon ceramic option you might find on other performance cars, BMW M3s or M4s as an option, for example. Standard steel brake rotors, but very large brake rotors and brake calipers. Now moving on to the interior, it doesn't change much from what I am reading. Compared to the existing ZL1, you still have all of the creature comforts that would normally come in the car, although it does look like there is a plethora of Alcantara or suede or some kind of fabric like that throughout the car, on the seat bolsters, the steering wheel, in the dash area, places like that. And again, you only have a manual transmission as an option for the car. Now the downside, of course, with keeping all of these creature comforts and as big as the car is already, this thing comes in at over 3,800 pounds, if I am reading correctly. That is a heavy, heavy car. Now that doesn't mean it can't perform, obviously. BMW with their M cars have done it for years. They still feel light, they feel agile, they feel like a small car when you're driving it. I imagine the new Camaro ZL1 1LE feels similar in that regard, in that you don't necessarily feel the big weight when you're behind the wheel. It feels lighter and it feels more agile than it looks or than it weighs. Alright, so all of this performance sounds great, but what does it really mean? This car is meant to be a track-driven car. If it can't perform on the track, then what the heck is all of this stuff worth, right? So some of you might have seen in recent weeks that this car lapped the Nürburgring in 7 minutes and 16 seconds. If you didn't know, that is pretty dang fast. I'll tell you some of the cars that the Camaro ZL1 1LE is faster than around the Nürburgring. It's faster than a Lamborghini LP 570. It's faster than one of its arch rivals, the Ford Shelby GT350R, which is an amazing car in its own right. It's faster than a Porsche 911 GT2. It's also faster than a McLaren 650S Spider. It's faster than a Koenigsegg CCX. It's faster than a lot of fast cars around the Nürburgring. So that is good news for the Camaro ZL1 1LE. Alright, so what is the latest and greatest Camaro track monster going to cost you? It's gonna run you about $70,000 for one of these new 2018 Camaro ZL1 with the 1LE package. So that is BMW M3, M4 territory, which, by the way, the M4 lapped the Nürburgring faster than the Camaro ZL1 1LE, but that's neither here nor there. So while that is a pretty expensive car, at least from my point of view, it's pretty reasonable considering other cars in its territory, cars that it is faster than on the Nürburgring at least. So it's hard to complain about that price tag because of what you are getting for the money. Now, will I ever get one of these cars? Not anytime soon. They are somewhat limited production, I believe. I read about 800 to 1,000 cars will be made. Please correct me if I am wrong on that note. I don't think you can go wrong with this car, at least on paper and what we have seen so far. Alright everybody, we're gonna wrap this one up. It's hot as heck in my garage here. Wanted to get this video out to you guys, and let me know what you think. Do you think that the American manufacturers have finally kind of turned that page and reoriented their cars towards high-performing track cars versus straight-line drag cars, which I think is kind of the stereotype, at least for American muscle cars? To me, it certainly looks that way. We've got the Ford GT350R, we've got this new Camaro. They're leaning towards track performance, which to me is a good thing. I love that stuff, obviously, and it's good to see the manufacturers going in that direction. So thanks again everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Garage Talk. Again, leave your comments, your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned for more videos coming up soon. Hit that subscribe button down below to find out when we have new stuff coming out. I'll talk to you all next time.